Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed panelists and distinguished guests, welcome to this final panel discussion on the future technology with artificial intelligence. I've had read your interview in the Telecom Review yesterday, and I found it very interesting, especially when you comment how MYCOM OSI is supporting companies in the adoption of AI and automation solutions through new innovative services by saying, I quote, "Our customers have reduced MTR, mean time to repair, at NOC Network Operations Center and SOC Service Operations Center by up to 80% and have automated 100% of their ticket creation process." So maybe you can tell us what new business opportunities and revenue streams do AI and automation enable for telecom companies, and how can they monetize AI investments?
I think that right now all of us are talking, we are in an industry, we like to talk about something new, the trend. So this year the trend is Gen AI. 2 years ago we were all talking about 5G slicing. Now I don't know what happened to 5G slicing, for example. So it is right now a hype and a trend. And I'm sure it has a lot of potential. But just behind it, right, just taking a step back, predictive AI or machine learning based on, the traditional approach, now what seems a traditional approach, which is training algorithms or training models and then letting them, putting them into operations in runtime and letting them produce, for example, predictions or correlations, etc., is really the key right now is really what's being, what in my view has the biggest promise of transforming the telcos, at least for the next 2 years, in the operations, in the heart of the network and the operations. So what we have been doing with the customers, first with the CSPs, helping them to prepare the data, and I think it has been said a lot, that without proper, curated, normalized data sets, none of what we are talking about can happen. Yeah. Now, for machine learning. Now this data happens to be ultra fragmented, very disparate, very kind of proprietary. So the first thing is we have been working because we ourselves are a data platform, so we mediate data from a great variety of data sources, and then we turn it into curated, normalized data sets that we then inject in data lakes, and we make available through open APIs to then monetize it in different ways. And I'll come to it in a second. But then we make that data available then to train models. Now, what we have observed in machine learning in our industry, that you need to really reach accuracies in the network operations of 80, 90% and above, you need massive amount of training. It is not, it's not like I train one generic model and no. Sometimes you need to train models for one time series, i.e. for an average medium-sized operator, you need to train millions of models in machine learning to achieve and only in network operations, to achieve the desired output. So having the right architecture in place, the machine learning pipeline, this whole machinery that maybe is the boring stuff is absolutely fundamental if you want to repeat these use cases at scale. So what we have done is that we have helped our customers to first put this data fabric in place, right? Produce these curated and normalized data sets. Then on top of it, put these machine learning pipelines that help them to then produce to train the models and then to deliver use cases. What are the use cases? The first one is predictions. And when you predict issues before they arrive, or that you predict the traffic and the quality of service, etc., you are able to detect, and then you compare with what's happening on day-to-day, and you generate anomaly detection. And that anomaly detection helps you reduce your mean time to identify. A single roaming issue, and we have a lot of operators who complain with issues with roaming, right? A single roaming can impact 100 operators who are your partners, and it can generate issues across like hundreds of operators, it can be detected in one go. So the meantime then to identify such issue, because with the combination of prediction and correlation can allow you to achieve this kind of 90% reduction in the meantime to identify and to repair, and then to do everything up, up to the trouble ticketing. So in operations, the three use cases are prediction, correlation, and root cause analysis. And where Gen AI could help in the future, I believe, is in the automatic remediation, because then it can generate the solution, the fix that you can apply in an automated manner to the network. And those are the concrete steps. And in terms of the promise for the CSPs is huge in terms of the reduction of the operational costs. You're talking about massive amounts. Now I don't want to say that those people will lose their jobs. Again, back to what Michael was saying before, but maybe retraining and repurposing the people. But yes, you can move to really closed loop operations there.
Okay, so quickly a few words about the challenges and the opportunities of integration AI into telecom networks. Patrick and Mounir, in a few words, what are some of the top hurdles to overcome and integrating AI deeply into telecom network?
I would say, if there was one, because I want to be straight to the point and we have only 30 seconds, the AI of today, the models of today don't speak the network language. We're talking about LLM, they're trained with text only. In internet, they can solve a number of problems. They cannot solve they cannot talk the network language. Second, and I'll stop here, they do not know how to reason. They just know how to predict the next text, for example, or the next pixel or whatever. That's a big problem. Right now, there are things that are more promising that are to come, like the self-taught reasoning algorithms, etc. But we, as a telecom industry, need to join forces to train to come up with a super telecom LLM, the one that speaks the network language and can really be operationalized to really automate, become like a brain of what we all want, and that is the autonomous networks of the future. All together as an industry, we need to come together and have our telco LLM.